So, hey, Jonathan, Montana Fire Pits. We are here with Andrew Ellingson, who is from Arbor Wood. The new products that we are innovating incorporate thermally modified lumber from Arbor Wood. Scott is the fabricator and the leader of everything that we do with wood here at Montana Fire Pits. So, it is adding accents onto our tables. It is the covers that we're producing. Andrew found himself here in Montana, which we're super happy about, so he can put his eyeballs on what we're doing and we can pick his brain a little bit about anything we can do better or if we're doing everything right.
So thermally modified lumber it's just real wood. It's wood that has been transformed into a much more stable product using nothing but heat and steam. So we're taking kiln-dried lumber, putting it into a thermo kiln, a uniquely specialized kiln, that then takes that same lumber up to very high temperatures. We're talking 400 degrees Fahrenheit, 212 Celsius is where we're going to want to hit. At that temperature, the wood's molecular structure actually changes, and it changes the way that wood is going to interact with water moving forward. Water is ultimately going to be what makes wood products fail. Expansion, contraction, warping, cupping, twisting, all the naughty swear words when you talk about wood. Those are going to be things of the past because this is not going to take on water in the same way that a normal board would. Mm-hmm. So by eliminating the water and reducing its moisture content, we're making a truly stable, sustainable, chemical-free wood product that's going to last many, many years.
Scott's been making covers. We have some units that use it as just decorative elements. And it's really cool all around. We're not just running straight pieces wild and then cutting a circle out of it. His round covers are all mathed out. Is that a thing?
It starts out as an octagon. I have a router jig, routers into a circle, pocket screws, and then the whole inside gets stabilizer bars to hold it from any warp, twisting, or anything like that, but that shouldn't happen because it is thermally modified. But it's just a kind of a safeguard to keep it stable.
And so that one that you're holding up has a clear coat.
Yes, so this has a coat of Q-Tech on it. Actually 2 coats. It darkens it, it creates just a waterproof barrier.
This is basically a raw piece of ash, okay? So then you can keep it this way.
Yep.
And what will happen to it? And then what happens when you put a clear coat on it?
Put out into the environment and starting to interact with water, UV, it's gonna take this board from this brown tone to a beautiful silver patina. That process is gonna happen over the course of 8 to 12 months.
So it's gonna
depending
age
on where you
naturally.
are. Yeah, natural product that's going to naturally age.
Okay.
If you want to maintain color tone, then you have to add a pigment, and that comes in the form of a UV stabilizer, which takes the form of a color tone. So it's essentially your sunscreen for your wood. That's going to give it that other tone. There's lots of different color options. This is effectively the stain. And then what that is going to do is block the sun. Those pigments that are added into that finish are going to protect it from the sun, which ultimately will take a natural raw product to full gray, or a coat every couple summers. Maintain your top or any sort of wood that's on any piece.
And that's just brushed on.
Brushed on, very easy, it'll take you minutes.
We're putting something out into the world that lives outside. It is going to have snow sitting on it, and it is going to have leaves and dirt and dust over the winter, sand, depending on any part of the country. So you can leave it like this.
You can absolutely leave it raw, but what you need to do is keep it clean.
Keep it clean.
As with any sort of outdoor piece of furniture, you're going to want to keep that stuff clean, and it's going to last a whole lot longer. It's a go out in the spring once everything is melted if you're in a northern climate. If you're in a southern climate, still, wash that stuff. If anything natural, organic gets on top of it, just spray it off, brush it off, and it'll last a whole lot longer.
Yeah. We get asked a lot, what is the maintenance? What's the maintenance for our steel tables? What's the maintenance for concrete? And what's the maintenance for wood? And the reality is, it ain't rocket science.
Absolutely
Right?
not.
Brush it off and keep it clean.
You don't have to sand it. Another coat of Q-Tech and you're good to go. If you wanted to sand it,
Yeah.
you'll see that color come right back. Let's say you left this raw piece out. 3 years.
Yeah.
It's a through color. So 3 years down the road, man, I really wish I could have that brown back. Get an 80 grit sandpaper, 120 grit sandpaper,
Yeah.
sand that off, you're back to color, then apply oil.
So you're bringing
it back to life.
Back to brand new.
And it's very simple.
Treat it like you would any investment, right? It's a piece of furniture, keep it clean. We recommend covering the burner area from standing snow and torrential rain and things like that. The wood cover just brings a decorative element to our steel fire tables that makes it look natural, makes it look more like a piece of furniture. And what I'm hearing is that we're doing it right so far.
Absolutely.
Right? And using it in this application is good, and raw is okay over the years, and you can bring it back to life.
Absolutely. I mean, you'll see this same product used for decking, siding, cladding,
Yeah.
soffits, ceilings, interior feature walls.
Yeah.
I was telling these guys, it's even used for musical instruments, furniture. It's a beautiful material that, at the end of the day, can be used in any place where wood has been used.
Yeah.
It's just going to last longer, and it comes in a more beautiful form. This is all coming from U.S. forests,
Yep.
sustainably sourced.
U.S. steel, U.S. wood, U.S. partners, U.S. labor. It's really kind of cool. We prototype to prove the concept. We prototype to innovate and come up with something brand new. This one we're particularly proud of.
I used to do a lot of custom tile work, so I came up with an idea with a Schluter mat or Curdy mat. Rips down of wood, glue them to the Curdy mat, and then that is able to wrap around in a curve. And then this gets thin setted to the go board or concrete board on the RTF. I thought of tile products because every tile product is made for water, made for showers. Everything needs to be waterproof and be able to just sit wet.
It has to support a giant flame in the center of it, and it has to live outside in every climate in the US. And it has to live out there for years to come, and it can't fail, it can't crack, it can't fall apart.
I think it's a beautiful piece and really has a unique flair, something I've never seen before. It's so good to see Arbor Wood used in so many different ways,
Yeah.
because it truly can be.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you guys are really the first to take it into that other realm of what other products can we make?
Yeah.
And using every piece of the buffalo, as we say, right? Small pieces of wood, usually
Yeah.
they're trash at a job
Yeah.
site. They're
I was-
garbage.
I was
but
just
here
gonna say that.
they're used and made into something beautiful.
Okay, so we can talk about sustainability,
Yeah.
right? That we are effectively trying to get a net zero waste on this wood that we order from you. So much so that the very first thing I ordered from you were called shorts.
Let's look at what we get. We're using trees, natural lumber. Not every piece of a tree is going to be the usable piece that you see right here. So through our process, we have what's called defecting. We're cutting out knots, cracks, end checking. What we're cutting out and what people want to use, the market demands pieces that are, maybe they'll go for a 6-footer, but they don't want to be putting up a bunch of 4-foot boards
Yeah.
or 2-foot boards. So those don't fall into our spec of siding, decking,
Yeah.
the usual materials. Those tend to pile up through our manufacturing process, and that's when they can be used because 2-footers, 4-footers are beautiful for applications
Yeah.
like we see here. And the thing that we don't like to do Just throw away good wood.
Right. So it's unusable for you because you can't send it out to put on the side of a building.
Correct.
But we saw the opportunity and said, geez, man, if you have pallets of these shorts, everything we use is no longer than 30 inches, 24
Yeah,
inches.
sometimes 5, 6 feet, but that's
Now we
about
are
the
ordering
longest.
full 10-foot and 12-foot lengths now, but we can still use shorts, and the point is that we try to have as little waste, starting from you,
Yep.
all the way down to here, to where Scott's even stacking up little shorts because he's gonna use
They'll
them.
find a place.
Yeah.
Joke that it has potential. Every piece has potential.
Every great wood shop has plenty of shorts.
Yes.
We're grateful that we get to be able to create something new that just didn't exist before, and grateful for companies like Arbor Wood and Andrew who are willing to come alongside and see this thing come to fruition. It's a cool thing.